Assalamu alaikum, welcome to another video. If you're new, which most of you probably are, I'll just introduce myself. My name is Amal. I was going to decide to use this mic actually, but let me just turn it on and see if I can use this instead. We'll see. Cool, I think this audio will be better. So yeah, my name is Amel and this is my YouTube channel. Hey, I usually post like weekly videos. It should be weekly videos, but then it's kind of like every 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, depending on how busy my week is or like how busy I get and if I have time to record, but also editing takes forever. But I hope that you can subscribe and just join me on this channel because I genuinely just want it to be a space where I can just share glimpses of my life and just kind of navigating life and just what I get through and trying to make the most of each day and just trying to kind of in a way not necessarily like romanticize life, but just do things I love and make great memories and be in good company, all that stuff. But that is not even the topic of this video. The topic of this video, first of all, just before we get into it, I just want to thank everyone who watched my other video, the last video that I did about my first Umrah and how I just the people who viewed it but liked it and also commented. Jazakallah khair, thank you so much. That really helps my channel. And I hope you enjoyed it. And it got me thinking, because on the back of that video, I kind of wanted to do another video to kind of talk about some things I would have done differently and kind of like an ultimate guide of how to have the best experience of Umrah, your first Umrah as a Muslimah. But also this could relate to both genders, to be honest. But yeah, I'm gonna be touching upon some areas of what I wish I knew or would have done better of, and like some things I would have known that I could have done as well. Don't know if that makes sense, but yeah. So let's get into it. I wrote a list of the things that I just kind of wrote down that I thought about, and I'll just go through them. I think I've got about 17 things on my list, so we'll just go through them one by one. I will try not be too slow in explaining each one, but yeah, we'll just get straight into it. So the first thing that I put on here was the location. So I wish I would have gotten a hotel closer to gate 79, specifically gate 79, because that's the gate that you would need to enter to go into the Mataf area, which is like the Kaaba area. And that gate is usually for people who are doing Umrah. For men, you must be in Ihram in order to enter that gate. If you're not in Ihram, they will not let you in because there's security always at the gates, making sure that the men are in ihram. For women, it doesn't matter. You could just be in abaya or any what you would usually wear when you go to the masjid, and you will be let in fine. So I was always at the Mataf area when I was in Mecca, but because my hotel was located a good 10-15 minute walk from to get to the actual masjid, it was 5 minute walk probably, but then that was just entering from any gate. If you wanted if I wanted to specifically enter the gate 79, then it takes about 10 to 15 minutes to get to that gate from my hotel. And because obviously it was extremely hot, I went in the summer, in August a few weeks ago, so it wasn't ideal, kind of constantly walking back and forth. So yeah, that's what I would do next time. I think regardless if it was a different, if it was winter or summer, I think in future I would just get a hotel that's closer to go to gate 79. And oh yeah, one thing I also put on here is the best decision I made was to get breakfast in the hotel. So adding breakfast on to our hotel confirmation. So I think I'll definitely be doing the same because that saves you so much effort and time of getting breakfast in the morning. You could just go to the restaurant area in the hotel and just have breakfast. And they had some really nourishing, delicious food. Honestly, I think about the breakfasts of the hotel till this day. I'm like, oh my God, I wish I could just wake up to breakfast every morning like that because it was just divine. But the other thing I would add to that at the hotel is to include dinner. because I struggled finding places I wanted, like healthy foods. So I ended up having fast food all the time for my evening meal. So instead, I would include dinner on the back of that as well. Second thing I put on here is that it's better to fly into Jeddah than it is going from Medina to Mecca for Mikat purposes, but also convenient purposes, because that we arrived in Medina, and then from Medina we went straight to Mecca on a train. We did our miqat in Medina, and then the train journey from Medina to Mecca was 2.5 hours, which was kind of long, I'm not gonna lie, because if you've gotten off a flight that's like 5 hours and 45 minutes, nearly 6 hours, and then you've got to do a train journey 2.5 hours and then get a taxi to your hotel, it can get quite a lot. So I thought next time inshallah when I do go Umrah, then I will fly from London to Jeddah, and then from Jeddah train half an hour to Mecca. Third thing I put is overpacking and the inconvenience of that. I think I definitely overpacked. I thought I would probably be using a lot more clothes than I anticipated. I mean, I ended up using all of my clothes, but I just felt like my packing was just very bulky, and it was quite difficult to like bring things back because I was like, I had no room or space to fit anything new in there. And what I realized there was there's a lots of laundry services that will actually wash your clothes for you. And I did actually end up washing a batch of clothes. So you just take it to the laundry place, and then you just give them like your abayas, any like clothes, and like just separate them from your whites to your blacks. And they will wash it, dry it, iron it for you, and bring it back good as new. So definitely utilizing that service. And yeah, not overpacking. And I put clothing wise as number 4. Taking very breathable, very lightweight hijabs. And I think what I would do next time, definitely inshallah, is that I wouldn't bother taking any abayas or like any of that stuff. I would just take purely jilbabs because it's just so easy and so convenient. You don't have to faff around and be like, okay, I'm gonna take this hijab for this abaya and put this on, blah blah blah. It's just like, just put a jilbab on and you're good to go. So definitely next time I'm going to be doing that. And some of the jilbabs that I saw people like Muslims wearing was so cute. Specifically the Indonesians, I swear they were all just wearing jilbabs all the time, and they were just so cute. And I just thought, wow, like you guys look cute, and it's so convenient, and it's just like very modest as well. So that's one thing I will do. Oh yeah, and then shoes wise, definitely you don't need to get yourself, you don't have to pack that many shoes, just literally one pair of trainers for when you go on tours and you're hiking mountains and stuff like that, and then one open shoes for when you're like out and about and going to the masjid and things. Also on shoes, make sure you get shoes that have a grip, because the masjid floors are so smooth you will slip. I've had so many near misses of nearly falling because my shoes just didn't have any grip. My shoes at the bottom were like very smooth, and so was the masjid floors, that like it was just constant slipping. So yeah, definitely get shoes that has a grip. That is the biggest thing I will emphasize. If you do not want to fall or have an accident, get shoes with a grip, please. And yes, one of the things as well, item wise, so getting a cross body bag, side body bag, that's small but not really like super small. One that has lots of compartments. Sorry, I just got a message. One that has lots of compartments, so you can put lots of different things in different places. Yeah. And then the fourth thing I put on here is hydration. Making sure you get yourself a tumbler, because then it will keep it cooler for up to like 8 hours in the day. You can fill it up with Zamzam water. When you fill up with Zamzam, make sure you get it from the dispensers inside, because they're like ice cold inside. And then you can just fill your tumbler up with that, and your water will stay cold for like hours and hours. And yeah, that really saved me a lot actually in the heat, because I was like, oh my god, I'm so hot and I needed to drink water. Had my tumbler with me, took a sip, it was ice cold, and I was loving life. And then one also like important thing I put on here was that if you're traveling in the warmer, hotter seasons, definitely getting yourself a mist fan. Getting a fan that, so it's a fan, right? And then you can put water in it, so like it will mist, and the fan, it's spinning around will make the water misting come out cooler. So honestly, actually, that's probably the number one thing that saved me doing Umrah in the heat was the mist fan. I don't think I could have done Umrah, and my whole experience going to Saudi would have been good if I didn't have that mist fan. So definitely get yourself one of those. I'll try to like put a picture of what that looks like maybe. And yes, so number 5, I put booking your ziyarat, I think that's what it's called, the tours, the historical tours, the sites and everything. Booking that ahead of time with a good company who speak English, because we booked ours from the hotel, and he only spoke Arabic, so I could understand what he was saying when he was talking to us about the historical sites and the meanings and what it meant and stuff, because like I knew those stories beforehand. But yeah, definitely getting that booked beforehand with an English speaker and having more of a structured tour visits, and going to like just doing like a whole day of it, like morning till evening. Just do like a whole day and like actually climbing all the way to the top of the mountains and doing the whole lot. I would recommend that. So book that ahead of time. Number 6, I said I would only recommend going to the Clock Tower Museum purely for the whole view of Mecca on the 88th floor. So yeah, the Clock Tower Museum was more of like stars and the galaxies and everything, which was interesting. It was well air conditioned, so that really helped. But I was more interested at the top floor just to see the whole view of Mecca. And then number 7, okay, so this disconnected. So because it ran out of batteries, I've just connected it to the charger and I'll still continue using it. So yeah, number 7, I was saying snacks and food wise, going to Bin Dawood stores because they're widely more accessible and available. So you can literally find snacks, drinks, foods, medicine, toiletries, anything to replenish you. You can find it in the Bin Dawood stores. And then I put, in terms of like food places that you want to eat at, then going to the Clock Tower Mall. There are several floors of places of where to eat, and you can definitely find something to your liking for yourself or the whole family, if you're going solo, if you're going with your family and stuff. One thing I also put, number 8 on here, is that carrying some like £5 note, like 5 to 10 notes of riyal in your like specific part of your bag, just purely to give as charity to the workers of the masjid, like in the haram, in Masjid al-Nabawi, because the workers, they work really hard, and like in the heat, honestly, they could like just giving a little to them won't hurt. Number 9, I put something that you need to just like be careful of, is that there will be people who come up to you asking you if you speak English, and when you reply yes, they will start beginning to tell you soppy stories about themselves and like how they're struggling, and they're not allowed to do this. And I had quite a few encounters in Mecca. I think at least like 6 people at different times came up to me asking me if I spoke English. The first 3 times I was like, yeah, like I speak English, because I thought they wanted help or direction of somewhere. And then they proceeded to tell me some story about their life, and I was like, oh, like I'm so sorry, like I'm really just, I'm not, like I don't. And then I just kind of made an excuse and went, because literally one of the instances where someone came up to me was I was doing Safa Marwa, part of my Umrah. I was literally like on my 4th or 5th lap of my Safa Marwa, and then this lady came up to me, and she was just like, hey, do you speak English, blah blah. And I thought, oh, maybe she wanted help of like, how many laps do I need to do of this? And she didn't. She was like, oh, we're struggling, blah blah. And I'm thinking, girl, I'm literally in the middle of my Umrah. I am walking Safa Marwa right now, and you're asking me for money. Like, have some adab, like literally have some shame and some respect for people's like pilgrimage at least. Oh my god. And then from that experience, anytime someone came up to me and asked me, excuse me, do you speak English, I've just always said la in Arabic, like la la la. I don't, and then I just, and they'll be like, oh okay, she doesn't speak English, and they'll walk away. So be careful of that, especially because they're not allowed to do it. And I know some people say they report it and stuff, but I didn't bother to do any of that. I just kind of kept it moving. Number 10, I put, when you book your Rauda, make sure you do it for a time when you definitely know you can make it, because some Rauda times are like so early that you may not be able to make it. Number 11, moving on. Number 11, people will ask you to enter, people will ask you to enter their shops left, right, and center. So don't feel obliged to like enter their shops. And also some people will overprice you in some shops, so be careful of that, especially when you're buying like gold and stuff like that. Do your due diligence, because I don't know, from my experience, I think Emmy got overpriced. Number 12, yes, I put so for my, like in terms of like eSIMs and data and stuff, I used the eSIM called Saily, and that sufficed me well because I could top up whenever I ran out, and it was really easy and very convenient. But I don't think cost effective wise it was a wise choice, because it was kind of pricey, to be honest. So either get Saily if you don't mind it being overpriced or pricey, or get an eSIM, get a SIM card, an actual physical SIM card when you arrive. I think a SIM card will be better, because when you want to order food and stuff on delivery apps, when you download them, you need verification of a Saudi number, or at least a number that you can get a verification code from, because obviously when you're in Saudi, your UK number is not going to work, so you can't get verification on that. So what I did was, because my number wasn't working, I sent the verification code to my mum's number, and she was in the UK, so I just called her and I was like, hey, what's the code? And then she told me, I put it in, and then it worked. So I ordered, what did I order? It was the fast food chain, like in Saudi, that's like really, really popular. I can't remember the name, but it didn't live up to the hype, let's just say that. Number 13, I put, this is kind of just like something I experienced, and I thought, well, I'll just put this in. Make sure that you shop around for good perfumes in the malls instead of the hotel that you're in. Because I purchased some perfumes from the hotel, which were really nice, but then the ones I smelled in the malls and stuff, oh my god, they were divine. But I was like, I already have enough liquids of perfume, so I couldn't get any. So shop around for your perfumes, but also just shop around for any of your goods, like your abayas that you want to buy, anything that you want to buy, just shop around. Because I did that, I shopped around, and one shop, the guy's telling me something's like 25 riyal, another person's telling me it's 15 riyal. So I was like, it's the same thing, I'm just going to go to the person who's doing it for 15 riyal. Oh yeah, and then number 14, I put, I wouldn't bring my own personal Quran, because I brought my personal Quran and it was big, and I just felt like it was just very difficult to carry around. But also like having it in my bag, I didn't want to put it in the suitcase because I felt like it's quite disrespectful to the Quran. And I like putting it in my bag, I was very cautious of not putting my bag on the floor. And if I did, I felt really bad, and it just didn't feel right with me. So I would probably recommend not to bring your Quran, because there are amples and amples of Quran in the masjids. You will have no problem of having a Quran. In the hotels, you will have a Quran. On your phone, you will have your Quran. So for convenience purposes, I probably would recommend not to bring your Quran with you. Number 15. Oh yeah, and I put on this, literally, this is what I typed. OMG, I nearly forgot. Battery bank, exclamation mark, exclamation mark. You need to buy a battery bank. It will save you, because it genuinely will save you, because you're going to be spending the majority of your day out and about. You need to charge your phone. And need I say more? Literally, you need to try like to get around to anywhere, you need your phone. So make sure you buy a battery bank, because I think it was like we were at Jabal al-Nur and it was pitch black and my battery just died on my phone. And I was like, oh no, we still got some places to go. But then I had my battery bank and I charged it and I was on my way. So definitely get that. Number 16, I put delivering food to the hotel. In terms of food delivery, I used Hunger Station, which I think that's what I used. Yeah, so that's what I used. If you ever want to deliver food to your hotel, you can do that on Hunger Station. But bear in mind, they take forever to deliver your food with laughing emoji. So honestly, I'm so used to Uber and Deliveroo, like delivering within like half an hour, 20 minutes, that these guys took an hour to deliver my food. It was crazy. So yeah, just bear that in mind. And in terms of like getting taxis and things, this is a good note actually. I didn't put this on my list, but I just thought of it now. If you want to get a taxi in Mecca or Medina, and you want to use Uber, your Uber app, because I used Uber a lot of the times, you can't actually use Uber in the city of Mecca. There's like a vicinity that you can't order an Uber in, but you can just walk like 5-10 minutes and be outside of the vicinity. It will show you on the map where it is, and then you can just order yourself an Uber. Or if you want to just get the taxis, the green taxis that are on the streets, just stand at the side of the road and just like try and get attention of a taxi driver and just ask them, hey, how much to so and such place, and they'll tell you. A lot of the times they will overprice you if you do speak English. Try to speak to them in Arabic. That's the biggest thing as well, is like learn in Arabic before you go to Umrah to say how much to this such and such place, or how much is this? What is the best price you can do for me for this? Because they'll overprice you. I've been haggling like, hey, the other guy told me that this route will only take 20 riyal and you're asking for 50. Brother, have some shame. So yeah, be wary of that. And number 17, which brings me to my last point. I said, get yourself the weight measuring thing. You know, when you like weigh your luggage, like the handheld weighing scale thing, get yourself one of those, because I put no doubt you will end up buying so much gifts and things while you're there that you will literally go over the weight for your luggage limit. And you don't want to be struggling like me, because I was struggling. I was at the hotel like, oh my God, what do I do? I was like changing bags around, taking things out. In the end, I had to leave one of my shoes there because number one, there was just no space, and had I added that onto the luggage, it would have been over. I was slightly over anyway, but they didn't charge me, thank God. But yeah, on that note, I hope it was very informative and that you get to kind of take some points from this and just be more aware of like how you navigate your first Umrah. And yeah, and I hope you have the best Umrah. Like, I honestly had the best journey. I loved my experience, and like I was just like literally reminiscing this morning and looking at all the videos and footages, and I thought I have to do this video because I just already want to go back, and I don't want to forget about my Umrah experience, so I'm just holding on to it. But yeah, I hope this video helps, and if you have any ideas or you have any informative advice or any experiences that you've gone through that you think that myself or others will benefit from, please do share it in the comments below. And inshallah, may Allah accept your Umrah, may accept my Umrah, Ameen, and like may Allah invite us to perform many Umrahs but also Hajj, because honestly, when you go to visit the Arafat area, I'm yearning for Hajj already. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala invite us all to perform Hajj, Ameen. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time in a new video. And please subscribe, like, comment, all that jazz. And I'll see you guys next time. Assalamu alaikum. Bye.